Alright then guys, today we're going to be doing another Owasp SKF lab, and this time we're doing the Sqli like one. So let's get started. So first we start up our Docker container, which I did earlier in this video. And we see that it says right here SQL injection. So there's some SQL injection in here. And I'm guessing it has to do with I guess this part of the URL, but just to double check, we could check the source code like we usually do. So go to make a new window, clear, check what's on right now, and then just do docker exe /it container ID, Control-Shift-C, and then I think type bash. And we're in our Docker container that we usually do, and then we can just check the app.js. Hopefully it's in here. Also, see, look, so select username, email from where username is like. So this is different from the other ones, because before in the other ones they were using the equal sign, but now they're using like. Now with this at the start of it, so like, and then username. So let's see what this does, just to be sure. Like with percentage sign. SQL. The like operator is used in a word to search for a specific pattern in a column. Okay, makes sense. There are two wildcards with junction. The percentage sign represents 0, 1, or multiple characters. So let's see. How we're gonna use it is like this. Find any values that end with A. So I'm guess how this is working. It's finding any where a customer's like percentage and then A is find any values that end with A. So it's finding any values that ending with A on this case, but on our case, it looks like it's finding any values that end by it's between. It says between both of them. So okay, so find any values that have or in any position. Okay, that's what it's doing. So in our case, it's finding where the username is at any position, because it's between two percentage signs. If you see right here closely at the code. Oh, that's what this part of the code is doing. But in our case, it's doing it for admin, guest, or plebeian. So I guess what we could do right here is just like I said before, we could just, I guess, find a way to mess with this. And like how before, if we were to put like, I guess, a colon sign or like a quotation mark, would generate an error ordered by SQLite error. I guess the whole point of this is try adding a percentage sign, so it could like so you could find anything that's between admin, because it still needs to end with a percentage sign. And then after that, we could just do some operators like and 1 = 1 to make this true, so the code could run. And did that work? No, I don't think it did. Yeah, it didn't ran it, because if we do percentage and 1 = 1, yeah. So I guess this is a cool thing. Usually when you paste stuff in the URL, you have to encode it, or if stuff gets encoded. Sometimes stuff doesn't get encoded. So it says right here, when web browsers request pages from websites by using URL, the URL is like this. converts a character into a format that can be transmitted over the internet. And I guess what's not transmitting over the internet is the percentage sign. So what we need to do is do a percentage 25, which is the representation in the URL encoding. So it could be passed on through the internet. So if we do percentage 25, well, like I already did this lab before, and 1 equals 1, and see, look, we can see our URL worked, and then we still get the same info. So that means this is working. And now we just have to do what we usually do for most SQL injections, because since we could inject SQL, we could just do union, but we first have to figure out how many columns there are, like we usually did in our last video. So we could just do this by doing order by 1, and see there's no errors. Order by 2, no errors. Order by 3, and boom. So there's only, I guess, 2 columns or 2 rows. So we know that for a fact. Now we just need to check for what can we use. So we can just do union select. Let's do no. Oh, wait. No. So see, look, information of user. So I guess these 2 are empty, but we can check to be sure. If we add, if anything changes, keep that in mind. Information of user and email address. Now we get admin and foobar. Now if we do something like this. So it looks like both of these could be used, my understanding. So now we can do more SQL injection, but since I'm not that familiar with SQLite, we can just follow this payload of all things. I'll link this down below. So what we want to do is extract the database structure, see what's inside the database. So I'll just copy this and paste it right here. So union select. Delete that. Union select SQL from, well, like always we have to remember to put in our second column, so I'll just put an 8 right here, like a placeholder. And space this out. It might be different characters. Yeah, different characters. No. Huh, this was working before. Union select a SQL from SQLite schema. From SQLite schema. Huh, this worked. Select SQL. Union from SQLite. This worked last time. This is weird. So like, don't just do comments. Select some. Alright, so if we just do comma, no. Information of user. What would the guest? Oh, okay, that's weird. So it works on guest, but not. Wait, let's see if it works on plebeian. So it does it for these two, but not for the admin one, which is pretty weird. That's something I didn't caught on. But anyway, we get information. We now know the name of the table and then the parameters, username and password, which is like the juicy stuff usually when you're doing pen tests. So we change this to the parameters to username, and then right here to password from, and then users. Oh, and then the very first thing we get is the username from admin, and then the email, or not the email, but I guess the password for the admin user. And we could double check that inside the Docker container shell that we have. Oh, cat init, and then we see right here. This is the first thing, the admin and the user. Because this is the very first thing passed in, so I guess it's the first thing it pops out, just to be sure. You could probably play around with this and get the other ones, but I'm just doing it just to get the admin and pass the admin, the username, the admin, the username for admin, and then the password for admin. That's the only reason I'm doing this. But yeah, I think that's about it for this video. Hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace.